Former NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, League MVP, and now he's looking for a new home as he heads into his 12th NFL season. We welcome friend of the show, Adrian Peterson, to the desk. Adrian, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Let's get into it. So the Cardinals released you earlier this week. Obviously, you're from Texas. We got the Texans there. You're in Houston right now, the Cowboys. What's your dream landing spot now that you're a free agent?
It has always been my dream to come back home and play. Taking it that I've been living in Houston for over a decade, that would be a perfect landing spot here in my backyard. Would make things very convenient. Not only that, it's a great organization to be a part of. Great defense, with Watson at the quarterback position, some great young receivers. I've been watching them the past couple of years, and I've seen the pieces they have added to get to where they are now. So I feel like personally, when I look at the team, I feel like I could add to that running back room and really make a good running game dominant. Well, my dad mentioned Dallas. Dallas is always nice too.
Oh, listen, don't contaminate your answer by bringing up the Dallas Cowboys. We don't want you associated with the Dallas Cowboys, okay? Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. But I will ask you this question. How much time, AP, do you think you have left in this game? Period.
To be honest with you, I know I have at least 3 years left, at least 3 to 4. And that's me, just saying, you know what? Around that time, I really think I'll be done, and just ready to get to the family. But as far as my body and how I feel physically, I feel great.
Adrian,
Go ahead, Max.
You're one of the greatest running backs who ever lived, obviously. You're going to go to the Hall of Fame one day, obviously. But the league has changed kind of out from under your feet, it seems to me,
yes,
during the course of your career. If you look at the running backs now, the elite running backs, Le'Veon Bell and on down the line, that Christian McCaffrey or and a million other elite guys, Gurley and Zeke and all these guys, they can all catch passes out of the backfield. And in Bell's case, is lined up on the outside. Why do you think this has happened? And do you think that's necessary to be an elite back nowadays?
I don't think it's necessary, but it's definitely a perk, without a doubt. And, you look at my decision last year, going down to New Orleans. A lot of people kind of bashed me. They was like, you know what, that's not going to be a good fit. The type of backs that they're used to is kind of like the Alvin Kamara type back. But see, that was my vision. I never been in that system where I was being spread out. So I was like, you know what, I can make that transition. Let me go out to New Orleans where I have the opportunity to kind of do that a little bit. But unfortunately for me, Alvin Kamara was drafted, fortunately for the Saints, because he's a heck of a player. But, if you ask the Saints organization, when they spread me out or they put me on wheel routes, hey, I made some I would say some pretty spectacular catches and plays. I actually made a great play against the Texans when we practiced against those guys in training camp. So it's not that I can't do it. It's just I never really had the opportunity or was put in that position. So for me, going down to New Orleans, going down to New Orleans was going to give me the opportunity to display, what I do. And I was able to do that in training camp. Unfortunately, that was the only time I was able to present it.
Adrian, I just kind of want to annoy Stephen A. a little bit right now, to be honest with you. So are you really considering the Cowboys? If they called, you'd be into it?
Hey, listen, I know Stephen A. He got a thing with the Cowboys, but hey, I grew up a Cowboys fan. Yeah, I grew up a Cowboys fan, Oilers, but mostly Cowboys. My hometown's an hour and 15, 20 minutes from Dallas. My first NFL game was watching the Cowboys play. So yeah.
You'd look great with the star on your helmet. I just want to tell you that. It would be a perfect fit for you. Just ignore him, AJ.
Don't listen to Molly. Don't listen to Molly. They got Ezekiel Elliott there and all of that stuff. You listen. You don't need to go there. Don't contaminate yourself, all right? You might compromise your Hall of Fame stature if you ever end up wearing that uniform. Don't
relax.
Do it to yourself.
No, he wouldn't.
But let me get to a different subject. I didn't even think about this. I didn't even think about this until just now. But you're the perfect person to ask this question to. Le'Veon Bell has been in
Okay.
the news as of late because obviously the Steelers franchised him again, and he's looking for some long-term dollars. He's 26 years of age, 321 carries, 85 receptions. That's 406 touches. His mentality is that he should be one of the highest paid dudes, and they shouldn't even be hesitating about it because of all he brings to the table. How do you feel about that situation? Him being a running back, but feeling he's worth so much more because of the multitude of things that he does?
I think it's crystal clear. You look at his production, and what he has done consistently over the past couple of years. I think it's a no-brainer to pay the guy. What he means to that offense. I feel personally he should be one of the highest paid players as well. It kind of reminds me of the Kirk Cousins situation down there in Washington, kind of the franchise tag, and then bam, he just got 84 or whatever guaranteed. So
84
I feel like
guaranteed.
his time. Yeah, I feel like it's time to come, and that's the one thing I don't like about the franchise tag. Like you have a commitment, a contract that you sign with a team, and when you have served those 4 years, they can bam hit you with a franchise tag, even if you're valuable, somewhere else, or someone else will be willing to pay you that max dollar. But that's how it is, unfortunately, now until it change. But I feel like ultimately he'll get paid without a doubt.
Adrian, speaking
Adrian,
of,
I want to get your opinion on this. Just real quick,
Yeah,
because we've seen so many great running backs come out of the draft in recent years, and every time it's like, that's the best guy I've ever seen. Ezekiel Elliott, Todd Gurley, and it goes on. But Saquon Barkley, to me, is different even among the different. Where do you rank him among running back prospects that you've seen in the draft? In your experience, period, not just this year.
Where do I rank him? I would say probably since I've been in the league, I'll probably say the top 5. I can't really stamp him right now. I have to see what he's made of once he step on this. Once he gets drafted, and I'll see what he's able to do on this level. But watching him, the
But
college
on that
level,
as a prospect,
he
how
did
do you like him?
some amazing things. I like him. He's very shifty. He has good speed, great balance. He's everything you would want in a running back. Good hands as well. But I've seen that in the past with different guys, and it just didn't. It didn't translate into the NFL. To the next level. Now I don't think that would be the situation with him, based on just what my eyes see. I feel like he's gifted, and I just want to see what he can do. I didn't stamp Todd Gurley until the NFL. Leonard, I just stamped him as well. So I just want to see what he do once he get out there in the trenches.
That's fair. Adrian, you mentioned Kirk Cousins, so I wanted to ask you, obviously your former squad grabbing him in the Vikings. Do you feel like it was the right move and now it's Super Bowl or bust for them?
Yeah. When you bring in a guy like Kirk Cousins, who has been productive over the past couple of years as well, and what he brings, to that already stacked team, offensively and defensively. Yeah, I'm sure that's their mentality is Super Bowl or bust. I know that's what they're thinking. So I'm just happy for Kirk. He's really, setting a trend that I think a lot of players in all positions will be able to benefit from. Le'Veon Bell, to get all that guaranteed money. But I'm wishing him the best down in Minnesota.
All guaranteed. Very impressive. We know that's what matters in the NFL. Adrian, we appreciate you so much. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks a lot, bro.
No problem. All right, thanks, D.
Thanks, Adrian.